Talking about politics for a moment, after you were elected governor and you were helped by a Republican governor at the time, Chris Christie, then Republican governor of New Jersey, when he ran for president in the year 2016, you supported him. Then when he dropped out, he endorsed Donald Trump, and he tried to get you to endorse Donald Trump, and you said no. In fact, you never did endorse him, even when he was the nominee of the party, and you didn't vote for him. Was that a little awkward when you were trying to go into the White House as the head of the National Governors Association?
Well, not really. Well, first of all, Chris Christie and I are good friends, but we don't have to agree on everything. But I think, in spite of all of that, I think, the relationship was pretty good. Like the president got a little testy a few times when he didn't like me, speaking up on certain topics, and I wasn't kind of always drinking the Kool-Aid. But I tried my best to never be, attacking the president, regardless of who the president is. I want to work together with them. And chairing the National Governors Association, I brought together in a real bipartisan way all the governors of the states and territories, speaking with one voice, in many cases unanimously, pushing for certain things. And while sometimes the president may have bristled if we didn't just compliment him on everything, for the most part, the whole team was very cooperative.
As a Republican, after Trump was elected president the first time and you didn't support him, you didn't vote for him, you worked with him when he was president, you flirted, according to your own book and other accounts, with running against him for the Republican nomination in 2020. So why did you decide in the end not to run for the nomination?
Well, honestly, it was not, I don't know if flirting is the right way to put it. There were people trying to encourage me to do it. I never really formed an exploratory committee. I didn't aggressively go after it, but after I was reelected in 2018 in the bluest state in the country, when many of my Republican colleagues across the country were losing, when we lost the House of Representatives and lost state legislative bodies, and we did really well appealing to suburban women and minorities and crossover Democrats and independents. And so, when I was inaugurated for the second time, Jeb Bush came up and introduced me and gave a speech where he talked about me being the antithesis to Washington and what's going on, and the way we've been able to get things done in a bipartisan way. And that sort of took on a little bit of a, people started saying, what about this guy? How does he do that? How do you, reach a wider audience in a bigger tent? And how do you get things done in a state that's 2/3 Democratic? And how do you get reelected when everyone else lost? So it took on a life of its own. I was frustrated in many respects with my party and with some of the things that I thought the president should be doing that wasn't doing, or some of the way that we were going about it. So I listened, but I never really took any serious aggressive actions towards running for president.
2024 will have another presidential election, and there are some people who are saying that maybe you should run in for the Republican nomination then, because you've proven you can win in a Democratic state. You're very popular. So are you thinking about it? Are you ready to announce today that you're running for president in 2024?
Well, that would really break some news. Your show would get more, a lot of eyeballs if we said something like that, David. But look, I'm flattered by the people suggesting that, and I'm not saying I would rule it out, but this is the honest truth. I mean, I've got a really important, difficult job that I love doing. We're in the middle of a twin crisis, the economic and health crisis, and I've still got this day job to do until January of 2023, and I'm going to try to stay focused on that. But I do want to be a part of the discussion about where we go as a party and where we go as a country, and so I'm going to continue to be involved and speak up and let people know what I think we should do. But I'm not ready to launch any campaigns.
If you don't run for president and your term is up, would you consider something important like private equity?
Well, if that's a job offer, David, I'd love to talk to you about it. I believe I probably, if I don't pursue some higher office, I likely will go back to the private sector. And, I've enjoyed most of my life as a businessman, and I miss that a little bit. I mean, this is a terrific job, and I feel like I'm working hard for the people I represent, and I think they're getting their money's worth out of me every day. But going back to the private sector wouldn't be such a bad idea either.